The entire world owes a debt of gratitude to Daniel Daladin. And I hope that I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I have not heard it. He is the founder of the Center for Medical Progress, and he and his organization have successfully filmed Planned Parenthood, we believe, in hundreds of tapes, where Planned Parenthood and some of their affiliates and STEM Express are involved in the illegal trade of body parts from babies that were killed. Now, if you have small children in the room, I recommend that you go ahead and hit your DVR and pause this for a second, or have the kids scoot out. I want to speak very directly to you. We have decided that we will not air the conversations. They were so gruesome, they were so disturbing, that I just have decided that we are not going to show them. But I am going to talk to you clearly, bluntly, and take upon myself, I hope, please God, the tenor, the tone of what it would have been like for a prophet in the Old Testament to come upon a place where they were sacrificing babies. Because that's exactly what they did in the Old Testament. They sacrificed babies, and God spoke again and again about his curse coming upon them because of the shedding of innocent blood. They shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, and the wrath of the Lord was kindled against them. The argument right now is actually the wrong argument. Now, I don't know if Daniel watches this show. I don't know if any of his associates do. But I'm going to tell you what the argument should be. All right? I'll tell you the conclusion in a minute. Planned Parenthood last year murdered their so-called doctors, their butchers, in 330,000 known cases, killed a human being. Okay? They butchered a human being. They took little boys and little girls out of their mother's womb, and they put them in a landfill or in a dumpster, or in many cases now we find out that they're trying to harvest their body parts to sell. This is unthinkable. And part of the problem, and I'm going to get to my big point, but part of the problem that we're facing in the Christian community is that when you live alongside of an evil for so long, and it just something rubs you, what happens? You get calloused. At first it hurts, and then it gets calloused, and then it doesn't bother you anymore. Like learning to play the guitar or cooking in a kitchen where you're touching hot things all the time. Over 3,000 babies are murdered every day in America. Over 3,000. There were 3,000 people who died in the bombing of the Twin Towers at the hands of Muslim terrorists. Okay? That was huge news. 3,000 babies are dying every day. Every day. It's huge news every day. 3,000 innocent human beings made in the image of God. Their lives are snuffed out every day. But we've lived alongside of it for so long that it doesn't really bother us much. We certainly don't think it's news. I mean, if I were to take this program every day and at least give one entire segment to the 3,000 babies that were butchered yesterday, and if I were to show, like our news clips used to show the airplanes crashing into the Twin Towers, if I were to show these poor babies being ripped apart day after day after day, you would complain. We would all complain. We'd say, look, enough. I don't want to see this anymore. And that is precisely the problem. And because that's where we're at, we're arguing what Planned Parenthood is doing from the wrong perspective. The headlines read, Planned Parenthood selling severed heads. Now I'm going to cut to the chase here. Planned Parenthood is doing late-term child killing, and they're doing everything in their power to take an intact head out. And some of the places that they're sending the babies' heads want neural tissue. They want brain tissue. But they don't want Planned Parenthood to scoop it out because they damage it. And so Planned Parenthood is sending severed heads through UPS or FedEx to places like STEM Express. Okay? This is demonic. It is from hell. But more than that, and I've got to finish, it is a capital crime. All right? You have to remember that Nazis were tried after World War II at Nuremberg for things that they did in Germany that were legal at the time. Okay? Our discussion about Planned Parenthood and about John Boehner and his betrayal of us by refunding them, and Mitch McConnell's betrayal of us by refunding them, and whether or not there should be an investigation and whether or not that they should be defunded, we're taking up precious airtime in the debate on CNN, on Fox, with the wrong discussion. The discussion should be, how can we find a way under the principles of Nuremberg in which the United States participated? So our foreign policy and domestic policy believes in the principles of Nuremberg, that you can be tried for your life for something that you did that was legal at the time. The discussion needs to be, how do we find the way to apply the Nuremberg principles so that these people who are involved in this stand trial for their lives? That's the issue, people. They need to stand trial for their lives.